So I've got a 2017 Passat here in for the oil change. The oil was last done 9/20/20 at 23,500. Now it's 28,500. So it's time to do it. And here's a list of all the tools I'm going to need. A Torx 25, Torx 45, 32 millimeter socket, 6 quarts of oil, and the oil is 502-00 rated oil, and an 8 millimeter hex. The T25 and the T45 there to remove the pan underneath the engine to access the drain plug. The 32 millimeter socket is to loosen the oil filter cover. 6 quarts of oil go in the engine right there. 8 millimeter hex is to remove the drain plug. So I'll get started on it right now. First thing I'm going to do is loosen the oil filter housing to let whatever oil is in there drain down into the pan. So when I raise the engine up, I can get all the oil out. So this is a plastic cover, so you have to be kind of gentle with it. It's not on there very tight. The socket really just gives you some place to grab it, basically is all that is. It's not really on there hard enough to where you need a socket to put it on. I used to be skeptical of these plastic oil housings, but never had one go bad. I've run across them in BMWs and Volkswagens and Audis. But they seem to hold up. I think the problem might be if somebody not familiar with plastics, they crank that thing down and break it. That'd be a problem. So the oil filter is attached to this. I'm just going to let that sit there and drain down. I'm going to raise the car up. This is where you use the Torx. And I use a drill, not an impact driver for this, because they're not very strong. There's 4 of these T25s on each side, and they're kind of like a sheet metal screw. They're going into another piece of plastic, but there's a metal backer, threaded backer on there. There we go. And then there's 3 larger ones around on the back here, and they're a machine thread. They're going into aluminum, and they're the T45s. Now I've got access to the underside of the engine. I can see, just looking at it, for leaks of any kind. Fairly new vehicle, it's only got 28,000 miles, but it was a good idea to look. So back here is the oil drain plug. Takes an 8 millimeter hex. Normally I'd buy one of these and replace it, but this time I'm just going to use the same crushed pin. I've got this catcher here. I can put this up here to catch the oil. I'll move this back. Find the right socket. That's it right there, 8mm. Now this socket's kind of nice because you can hold it from a distance here with another tool and you don't get all this oil getting on you. Pretty nice. The tool gets the oil, but that's okay. I've been wanting to change this oil for a while, but I haven't had a good opportunity. So it went a little longer than I normally would have let it go, but well within their Volkswagen specification. I try to change it about every 5,000 miles or 4, depending on how I'm driving it. Well, the oil slowed to a little bit of a drip. I'm going to go ahead and reinstall the oil plug and finish up the oil job here. And I like to wipe all the oil away here, so I'll know if there isn't an oil leak. Otherwise you just wouldn't know. But if the bottom of the pan is dry, you leave it that way, then you know the next time you look at it, it better be that way again, or you got some work to do. Alright, now all I need to do is put the pan back on in place. Everything looks good underneath. A lot of times the mechanics like to leave these off because it just makes it a lot more of a job next time. But you need to check and make sure that if you're having your work done somewhere, check and make sure that this is going back. You'd be surprised how many of them just get left. I've seen collections of them at shops just thrown in the back. They probably turn around and sell them on Craigslist or eBay or something. I doubt a dealer would do that, but never know. And I guess I'll never know because I always do my own oil changes. 3 torque bolts installed. Now I just have to go through and zip these here in. And they don't require much force at all. Easy to overdo that and strip it out. You know, it'd be cool if they just did quarter turn Zeus fasteners, where you just click it off, and you wouldn't really need any hand tools, and there wouldn't be an issue of stripping something. You know, these are the kind of screws you find in your tires a lot. They drop out, cars pick them up. Like here's one here, it didn't quite, it missed the metal tab behind it. So I have to make sure, if I wasn't really paying close attention, I might let that go, and then that screw would be falling out on the roadway. All right, done underneath. We'll go ahead and let the car back down. So another thing you can do while you're waiting for the oil to drain is check your tire pressure while it's up in the air. It's pretty easy to do. And I've got a digital gauge here, and it's pretty nice. It clips right onto the gauge there and gives you a readout there. And I like to go 40 psi. And I just go around and do that on all the wheels there, and then you know, if you find one that's abnormally low, then you know you got to look at it very closely because it's probably got a leak somewhere. So while I got the car in the air, I like to take this opportunity to check out each of the tires and make sure there's not a nail or a piece of metal or something in there that's going to give me a problem. It's a good opportunity to take a look and see, and make sure you can spot things that would give you a problem, but it's pretty easy to deal with while you got the car in your shop. That looks like a staple or something. I'm gonna have to get something to probe that. I found something there. I'm not sure. It looks metallic, like a wire or a staple. Sure enough, it is some kind of metal. Hadn't gone in very deep, but it's a good idea to, you catch that kind of stuff. And so that's what I do. I go around and check each wheel, each tire. And it seems like I almost always find something. Sometimes you just don't know. You have to dig it out, check. Sometimes it's looks like it could be something, but it just ends up being a stone. And I can see an uneven wear pattern here on this inside edge of this tire. Right in here you can see it's a little scalloped. I'm going to check the other one. The other one has the same sort of pattern right in this area. We go check the rear. These also appear to have the same kind of pattern. All the tires look good. Found one little wire that had not gone in very deep yet. So I'm going to get back on the oil. See, the oil is still draining. So I'm just going to park this for a while. I'm just going to let it all drain out. I'm not in any hurry. So the next thing I'm going to do is remove the oil filter. It's been draining. There's always a little bit that drips. And I take it right on over here. Just let it go in there and finish up the draining. So the Volkswagen has a this little weird deal. I don't know what all that is, but I just leave it alone. But there is an O-ring here that I'm going to change. This one here. Got a new the filter comes with a new O-ring, so I use a pick here to work that loose. I've never had one of these leak. Hope this won't be the, hope I won't jinx it, but these generally are pretty reliable. Took me a while to get used to this. I was, used to a canister. And I just used some residual oil there to get on that O-ring. And here's the new oil filter. I'm using the S11784 XL. Slides into place there. Probably a good idea to compare it to the old one. Looks the same. Snaps into place. You heard that snap. It probably would have snapped when I screwed it in, but it's a good idea to go ahead and snap it. And then you just simply thread it back down in. And of course I get it started by hand. And you can pretty much get it all the way bottomed out. And that's probably good, but I'm going to go ahead and put a wrench on it and just give it just a very slight bit of torque there. As soon as I feel the resistance, I stop. Right there. Because the O-ring is what's making it seal, not the tightness of that plastic cover. So now, just need to put the oil in it. The oil fill is back here. And of course I'm going to use a funnel. Just pour that thing in there real slow like. This oil I'm using is Castrol Edge Euro car, and it's 5W40, and it's got the 502-00 certification, so I know it's safe to use on my engine. I think it takes just under 6 quarts. So I usually put about 5.5 in and check it after I run the engine a little bit. Also, while you're under the hood, it's a good time to look at the other fluids like the coolant and the brake fluid, and make sure if you see something, one of the fluids low, and you know you got some more investigation to do into that. My coolant looks good. Keep an eye on that. Brake fluid's under that cover there. We'll get to that later. That's basically all there is to the oil change. Put the cover back on, and we'll take it for a short drive and check the oil level. This cover here, I need to pop that in place. Guess I was looking at that, but I realized I didn't need to remove it for what I was doing. Go. So that's the Volkswagen Passat oil change. Thanks. That's the Volkswagen Passat oil change. Thanks for watching and hope you enjoyed the video.